We all have grandmothers, whether they are alive or resting. But have you heard of the saying, grandmothers are the glue of the family? Sometimes we act a certain way when grandma's around. We tend to act a little more polite or even get along with those who we dislike to make her happy and not worried. Grandmothers are those special people who we try to protect because they make life so much easier and more enjoyable when we need it. I will now be sharing with you a series of 4 poems. The first poem is Butterfly Laughter by Katherine Mansfield. Katherine Mansfield was a modernist writer who was born in New Zealand. She died at the age of 34 and wrote many short stories and poems. Now I'll be reading her poem. In the middle of Portage Place, there was a blue butterfly painted, and each morning we tried who should reach the butterfly first. Then the grandmother said, "Do not eat the poor butterfly." That made us laugh. Always said it, and always it started us laughing. It seemed such a sweet little joke. I was certain that one fine morning, the butterfly would fly out of our plates, laughing the teeniest laugh in the world, and perch on grandmother's lap. The second poem I'll be sharing with you is called The Mother by Robert William Service. Robert William Service was a British-Canadian writer and poet. He was often called the Bard of the Yukon. He wrote the book called The Cremation of Sam McGee. He died at the age of 84. Here's the poem. Your child grow from you apart, afar and still afar, and yet it should rejoice your heart to see how glad they are, in school and sport, in work and play, and last, in wedded bliss. How others claim with joy today the lips you used to kiss. Your children distant will become, and wide the gulf will grow. The lips loving will be dumb, the trust you used to know. Will in another's heart repose, another's voice will cheer, and you will fondle baby clothes and brush away a tear. But though you are estranged almost, and often lost to view, how you will see the little ghost who ran to cling to you. Yet maybe children's children would caress you with a smile. Grandmother's love will bless you still. Well, just a little while. Now, the third poem I'll be sharing is called Our Lady Peace by Mark Van Doren. Mark Van Doren was an American writer, poet, and critic. He won a prize called the Pulitzer Prize of Poetry. He was also an English professor at Columbia University. How far it is to peace, the piper sighed, the solitary, sweating as he paused. Asphalt the noon, the ravens, terrified, flit carrion thunder that percussion caused. The envelope of earth was powder loud, the taunt wings shivered, driven at the sun. The piper put his pipe away and bowed. Not here, he said, I hunt the love cool one. The dancer with the clipped hair, where is she? We shook our heads, parting for him to pass. Our Lady was of such no trim degree, and none of us had seen her face at last. She was the very ridges that we must scale, securing the rough top. And how she smiled was how our strength would issue. Not to fail was having her gigantic undefiled. For homely goddess, big as the world that burned, grandmother and taskmistress, frilled and town. We let the stranger go, but when we turned, Our Lady lived, fierce in each other's frown. Now, for the last poem I'll be reading, it is called Blue Bridge by Geraldine Connolly. Geraldine Connolly was born in Greensburg, Pennsylvania. She's the author of the chapbook, The Red Room. She is currently alive and is 73 years old. Now I'll be reading her poem. Praise the good-tempered summer and the red cardinal that jumps like a hot coal off the track. Praise the heavy leaves, heroine of greens frosted with silver. Praise the litter of torn paper, mulch, and sticks, the spining holy, its scarlet and landmines. Praise the black snake that whips and shudders its way across my path, and the lane where grandmother and grandfather walked, arms around each other's waists next to such river, below a blue bridge about to be crossed by a train. In the last gasp of August, they raised the time, it might be now, whispering into the darkness that passed. Blue plumes of smoke and cicada, each and doomed. I have just shared with you 4 of short poems on why grandmothers are very special in their own unique way. Now, as I close, I will leave you with a question. How long has it been since you thought about your grandmother and how she's doing?